Hello, this video is about making digital maps, and we are using QGIS as a mapping program. QGIS is open source and free. You can download it and install it for Windows, Macintosh and Linux machines. Maps can be downloaded from the URL that is shown at the start of this video. Generally, in this example, we are using administrative areas to make thematic maps. The example is with data of Zimbabwe, and we're going to make a thematic map with what is called fertility figures. Well, let's download a map. A map is called a vector in the language of digital maps. So we're going to add a vector layer. We click on vector and we are going to find the map. Look, in the Google Drive you'll find a folder called Zimbabwe admin. If you click on it, you see the whole range of files for maps. The most important ones are the shapefiles, the SHP files. There are three different shapefiles for a level 0, for a level 1 and for a level 2. 0 is Zimbabwe as a whole, 1 is provinces and 2 is districts. So we take 1. Also note that there are different files on the level 1. All these files will be loaded when you load the shapefile. And I will make clear what that is. So here we say add. We say add, and here it is. You can see here, this is Zimbabwe, and okay, and this is Zimbabwe, and you can see what is behind it. If you right-click on this folder and you go to the attribute table, you see there is a kind of database behind the map. Here are different fields are here defined on the records. You can see here there is a name 1, a name 2, and a name and type 1. So you have cities and provinces and names. So that is in fact what is shown. You can add these names to the map and you can give it different colors. But also behind this, and you don't see that, is longitude and latitude. These areas are defined by points, and these points are connected to a line and then define an area. And these areas are shown. So a digital mapping program is a kind of database in combination with making a map on the basis of longitude and latitude. That is the database behind the map. That was the attribute table. Now let's have a look at the properties of the map. The properties, first let's have a look at the source. The source, here it is defined what it is, the name of the layer, etc., the coordinate system, what is used, etc. Not so important. Symbiology, what can we do? Well, let's no, there is no symbols used. Let's say we are going to create categories here. What are categories? Categories are, for example, names of provinces. Okay, classify that, and now every province has a color. We untag this one and now say apply. As you can see now, every province has a different color. Can we add the names to that? Yes, we can. Again, go to properties, click on labels. Now it says no labels. You can say simple labels. Instead, what do you want on the label? We want name 1 on the label and say apply. Okay, that's it. Well, this is what you can do. However, this is not very interesting. You have to add data to the map. That's what we're going to do. Again, we're going to add a layer. That layer is only the data. Okay, here we go. In this case, we look for the file called Fertility Rates here per province. We say open. That's it. Edit. Which one? Well, the one with the data of Zimbabwe. Say Zim. We do OK and say add. Cancel. And this one close. You can see now that the fertility rates are here. Right click and go to the attribute table. As you can see now, we have provinces and we have the fertility rate. Okay. Well, what we can do now is add the fertility rates to the map. That is called a join. In fact, we have seen something like that when you do a VLOOKUP in Excel. Also, you try to join data from one table to another. They have one field in common, that is the name of the province and name 1. Now, how do you do that? You click on the map, right click, and you go to Properties. In Properties, you go to Join. You go to Join and say, I want to have a new join. Plus. Well, first layer is the fertility rates. On which field? Well, province, of course. And that must be related to name 1. Okay, fine. We say apply. Okay, good. Now let's have a look at the attribute table of the map. Open it. As you can see now, the fertility rates are added to the map for each province. Now, what we can do is make a map of these data. Again, we go to Properties, Symbiology, and instead of, we do not categories, we are using gradual. Remember, this is a real measure, so we can do a map in different steps and not in different categories. What is the variable? The variable is the fertility rate, and I want to have it here in different shapes of red. Then we do classify. Do you want this classification? There is much more to say on which mode and how many classes you want, but leave it as it is. And now I say apply, and I do OK. And here you have a shaded map of in different red for Zimbabwe. Instead of the names of the provinces, you can also add the fertility rates. Again, go here, Properties again, and Labels, and we add fertility rates per province. Apply, OK. Fine. So now you have the fertility rates per province on the map of Zimbabwe. You can do various things with this. Immediately you go to Project here and say Import Export, and you can export the map as a picture, a JPEG or a PNG or a PDF. That's one. These are just pictures, and you can add that to your website or a document, whatever you do. Next is, you can also go, if you go to Web, and you have installed this plugin, you can say create a web map, meaning if you do that, you will have a series of files in HTML format that represents this map. But for most people will say, well, I want to have it more detailed, I want to have a much nicer map. In that case, you use a layout. You're going to create a new layout. Let's call it, you have to give it a name and say, okay, here is the layout. And what you can do now here, for example, add the map like this. So now you have the map. You can give this a headline, a title. You can also add, and that's more important, add the legenda here. Let's do the legenda, fertility rates. You can give it here the title, let's call it sim rates, etc. So, okay. Well, now you can export this, of course, layout, as SVG and as PDF, and also as a picture. So, as SVG, scalable vector graphics, this is quite important if you want to rework and refine the map you have produced. Okay, this is it for the first part.